Whoa, whoa, you're in the army now. But the sergeant shouts, "Stand up and fight! You're in the army now. Whoa, whoa, you're in the army now. You're in the army now. Whoa, whoa, you're in the army now." If I can just quote myself. Whatever. I was in the army. I served my time. I was in the army. I'm still in the army. Even though the, self-discipline, right? Well, they have to get that forced on them, right? And then when they leave the army, they're like a bit like a musician that's been on tour around the world, and they go, I don't know what to do now because no one's telling me what to do. The thing is, yeah, because I'm self-disciplined, I'm in the army, in a good way, and I've got no PTSD, so that's really quite nice. I'm in the army. I've been in the army, different armies, right? And I've finished my tours of duty. I'm still doing a tour of duty, and I'm self-disciplined, and I'd have no person shouting over me saying, a bit like David Goggins, wasn't it? Because David Goggins, ultramarathon runner, joins the army, and he ended up being the drill instructor. He ended up surpassing that. He joined the army, and then he was used to then teach them how to do that shit. So he ended up being in the army, but taking the physical training to the next level. Is like, these guys are now teaching it to the level that I think they should be doing it at. He enjoyed doing it, you see, whereas a lot of soldiers just do it to acceptable standard. But he was like, no, this isn't good enough. And the people in the army recruited him so that he would teach them how to take that physical level to a higher level. So that's a bit like me, isn't it? I think if I joined the army now, I think I would be, even at the ripe old age of 27, I still think I'd kick their ass, because I'm fitter than most of them. It all comes from just So I wouldn't want to join the army, but if you can take some of that army shit into your real life without the killing people, I think that's not a bad thing, is it? You're taking that shit and using it in your, you're working, labouring every day, training every day, disciplining yourself with the other stuff, and then I think I've dipped into the army in some sense, because my former driving instructor was an army sergeant major of the army, and he would sort of give me a kick up the backside. But you go, I think he'd be proud if he knew of some of my physical feats, really quite high level. It's like, I don't think he was good, but I think I would have been good in the army. Even though I failed the driving test 3 times. How did that happen? Failed my driving test 3. I think I passed third time, so I ruined his. I was the blip in his unbroken first pass record. He used to teach people, and every single one of his students passed first time. He was quite proud of that, and I came in and shat on that record. But at the end of the day, at least I take some of the good things that he taught me, which were, that's another thing I was doing in London, right? He tried to get me into this network marketing thing, the kind of pyramid sales type bullshit, and he kind of forced me into that. It was a bit abusive, really, to be honest, because he saw I was vulnerable, so he got me into that. And then I ended up doing, I made the news in the newsletter, because I'm quality, right? So I got 1,500 sales in 1 month, and I made the newsletter, I was like, look at this guy, he's wasted away from home, he's still able to do £1,500 worth of sales in a month on his own, down in London. We fish out of water, still manage that, turn up at folks' doors and getting dogs barking at you, and fuck off, who the fuck are you, get away, I dealt with all that shit, and but then I was like, I think I've done that enough, I think it's time to do my own thing, and so it took a bit of courage. I remember the day where I had to say to him, he came down to visit me because he was trying to sort of coach me, and mentor me, all for his benefit, just to build his empire, you know what I mean? It's like, but I had the balls to say to him, it took quite a bit of courage to stand up to him and say, I don't want to do this anymore. He was quite disappointed in me, but that's what you got to do, innit? It's my life. I'm not living my life for someone else. It's my life. So you look back at all these glorious things that you do, and you go, that was me taking the power back. It took a bit, And now it's like, I achieved. I did some cool stuff. So if I bump into him, I might be cool to say, yeah, you helped me out, and but I mean, maybe I helped you, because how many of your students were as good as me? I wasn't as good a driver. Well, I was, but it was him. It was a personality clash, because he was a bit too hardcore for me at that age, you see. But he toughened me up in a sense. He did his job. I did my job as well, didn't I? I showed what I could do. I showed him what's possible. I was like the Michelangelo Bettio of network marketing salespeople. I don't think anyone probably since then surpassed my level of sales. It was ridiculous, but that's because everything I do is success.